Several people have contacted me on social media and have, you know, tried to grab my attention in the comment section of some of my recent YouTube videos about Dillian Whyte. And they've been alerting me to the fact that Dillian has been posting some cryptic and potentially disturbing messages on Instagram over the past few days, saying that he's in a dark place and, all this kind of stuff, talking about pain and whatever, suffering. My take on it is Dillian Whyte is a hard nut. This is not an ordinary guy. This is a hard man. All right. Not only is he a hard man, but he is a millionaire. Okay, I don't have access to his bank records or anything like that, but he's done several big pay-per-views which have sold, 400,000 or whatever, £20 a pop. So you do the maths in terms of what those fights were generating. He's made life-changing sums of money in at least a couple of his pay-per-views. So even if he's not a millionaire, he's doing far better financially than the vast majority of people, not only in the heavyweight division, but in the UK in general. Okay, so even if his boxing career was to end over this Ukad situation, and he was, let's say, worst case scenario, to get banned for 8 years, he's a tough guy. He's been through very, very difficult circumstances in his life, and I'm sure he would get over it. I'm sure he'd move on and do other things and make it work somehow. Maybe he'd go overseas and fight somewhere else. So I know that happiness is all relative. Generally speaking, what makes an individual happy is the relationships that they have with the people in their life, the people who they interact with on a day-to-day basis, and their perception of themselves, how they view themselves, how they view their life, where they think they should be, what they think they should be achieving. These are the things which generally define somebody's happiness, or what happiness is predicated on. So I understand that somebody in the Amazon jungle, in a loincloth, with a spear, living in a straw hut, they can be ecstatically happy with their life, yet you can have a millionaire living in a mansion, working in the city, and he's taking antidepressant meds because the circle that he's in, the people that he interacts with, just don't give him the same vibes. They don't treat him with the same kind of respect, the same kind of love as the guy in a loincloth in the Amazon jungle. The kind of respect that he gets from his peers is a lot better. The kind of love he gets from his community is a lot better. So I understand that happiness is relative, to whoever you're around. But be that as it may, even if Dillian Whyte, and I'm sure he is going through a dark time right now, he's a very tough man. He didn't get to where he is without being tough. And again, this is not somebody who's just tough compared to the average Joe. He's tough even for a boxer. And I'm talking about mentally tough. This is a very tough, hard man. So I'm sure Dillian will be fine. And, whatever happens, he'll adapt and he'll get on with life and do whatever he has to do. Now, I was watching a recent video on Boxing Beats and Rhymes channel where he was talking about the fact, and I've mentioned this actually in previous videos, that Dillian Whyte was very critical of Ukad in the past because he was vocal in claiming that the likes of Anthony Joshua and other fighters, because this is what Dillian said. He didn't just say Anthony Joshua. He said there are other fighters in the UK who get these T.U.Es, therapeutic usage exemptions. So he kind of put Ukad on blast in the past with this T.U.E business. Well, now that he is allegedly in hot water with Ukad, they're not really going to do him any favors, are they? Right? Because some people are entertaining this notion that there's some kind of foul play going on here, that Dillian Whyte has been set up. Well, if he has been set up, and I'm not saying he has, but if he has, perhaps it's the Ukad comments in the past coming back to haunt him. Even if he hasn't been set up, even if it is a genuine finding, they're not going to try and do him any favors. They're not going to be extra sympathetic to somebody who kind of put them on blast in the past, are they? So there's a lesson in this for Dillian Whyte, and we all learn life lessons. Yeah, I'm not a perfect person. I made plenty of mistakes in my life. But maybe the lesson for this, the lesson in this for Dillian Whyte is to choose your words a bit more carefully, because Dillian Whyte is like a bit of a bull in a china shop. He tackles a lot of situations by aggression, using aggression, tackling things head on. When in life, even in the sport, in fact, especially in a sport like boxing, you have to learn how to play politics. You have to learn how to be a bit diplomatic at times. Choose your words carefully. You can't solve every problem by tackling it head on and being aggressive and, speaking exactly what's on your mind all the time. That will eventually land you in trouble. Because in boxing, there are a whole heap of different parties, from promoters to broadcasters to sanctioning bodies to drug testing agencies, who have power over your career. You can't go pissing them all off, because at some point they're going to have power over you in a certain situation and they ain't going to show you no mercy. Excuse me. So you got to be a bit diplomatic. You got to be a bit smart. And this goes for most, if not every aspect of life. I mean, even if you're a hustler on the street, you can't just tackle everything with aggression and forcefulness. No, you won't last long doing it that way. The few people who last long in that life are the ones who know how to play the politics of the street. The ones who know how to maneuver and know when you can do certain things and when you can't do certain things. When you need to back up a little bit and when you need to apply pressure. Yeah? It's wisdom that you need to apply in certain situations. So maybe that's a lesson there for Dillian Whyte, to choose his words more carefully in the future, because they might come back to haunt you. It's just the way the world is. It's the way people are. You're not going to win every single battle by tackling it head on. Sometimes you got to go around the side. Sometimes you got to sneak attack. Sometimes you got to lure the enemy in, or sometimes you got to avoid making enemies of certain people altogether. And when it comes to an organization like Ukad, when you're in Dillian Whyte's position, you don't want to make an enemy of them. Really and truly, most boxers really don't want to make an enemy of the British board either. When it comes to British boxers, you don't want to make an enemy of the British board. You could make an enemy of a certain promoter maybe and get away with it in some situations, because there are other promoters to go to. You might be able to make an enemy of certain broadcasters in some situations. There might be other broadcasters to go to. But with Ukad, they govern the whole of the UK, all sport, all drug testing in the United Kingdom. Not good people to be putting on blast and making an enemy of if you're a fighter. If you're a promoter, you got a bit more leeway there. But if you're a fighter, I wouldn't do it, bro. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't do it. And again, I'm not saying that that's the reason that Dillian Whyte is going through what he's going through now, because it could very well be a genuine adverse finding in his test. I've got no idea. I'm not an insider on that situation. None of us are. But even if it is genuine, he hasn't done himself any favors by putting him on blast in the past. That's what I'll say. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about Dillian Whyte, his situation, the way he might be feeling right now. I know some people are going to say, look, Hatman, don't be fooled by Dillian Whyte's success and the fact that he's a tough man, because even guys like that can fall into depression and, a very, very dark place. I mean, we've seen it recently with Tyson Fury. I'm very well aware of that. Tyson Fury has come out of the dark place eventually, right? Dillian Whyte, even though he is a bit of a volatile character, he's never come across to me as being as erratic as Tyson Fury. Yeah, Dillian Whyte has never come across to me as a guy who's out there partying all the time and doing this, that, and the other, and his mind changes every day. Like, Dillian Whyte has never come across like that. He comes across as a very alpha, aggressive character, but not someone who is mentally erratic the way Tyson Fury is. That's what I'll say. So, yeah, I think Dillian's going to be just fine, even if his boxing career comes to an end because of an extremely long ban. I'm sure he will get back on his feet, and he's got enough money to start businesses or become a coach or, become a boxing pundit. Maybe he could go into kickboxing or K1 or, he could do a whole heap of things, Dillian Whyte. I'm sure he'll be cool. I'm sure he's got a good bunch of people around him, his family and what have you. I know it might feel like a lonely and dark place at the minute. Maybe he feels as though people who he expected support from and not being quite as supportive as he would like. But it'll pass. It's a moment in time. He'll be cool. He's good. There's people, probably a lot of people, listening to this video right now who are in a worse state than Dillian Whyte. So not to sound unsympathetic to the guy, but at the end of the day, I don't know whether he's guilty or innocent. So, if I knew for a fact that he was innocent, then I'd be displaying a hell of a lot of sympathy for him right now. But I don't know. All I do know is that he's made a lot of money and he's a very tough man anyway, so he should be cool. You know what I mean? That's my take on it. Let me know your take on it in the comment section below. It's happening, I'm out. Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far. For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.